Good morning, everyone, and welcome to continuing coverage of the 2021 Junior Gold Championships here from Indianapolis, Indiana. My name is Mike Flanagan. I've been bringing you the coverage along with our entire Bull TV team here this week. Today's an exciting day because it's our first cut, and we're in the advancers round with every one of our divisions here today. So we're glad you're with us here. We wanted to pop in here this morning on Bull TV and give you an update of what's happening across the centers as we've been streaming two channels for each division thus far. So I'm going to bring in Jason Thomas at this time. Hello, Jason Thomas. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Mike. I'm doing very well. How about you?
Good. I'm over here at Strike Force, where the U12 girls and the U12 boys have moved over from All-Star lanes, and they have bowled and just completed 3 games of competition over here of their 4 games that they're bowling this morning to determine the top 8 who will then face off in a double elimination match play bracket, and then we'll get down to our top 3 for our stepladder finals, which will be tomorrow on Saturday. This afternoon's competition, the bracket will begin at 2:30 Eastern here at Strike Force.
Nice. And then we've got 2 advancers rounds in the U15 and the U18 divisions. Those are going on over at Expo and also here at Western. I've got U18 boys here in front of me at Western, and I've also got U15 girls. And then we have the opposite of that over at Expo. All the channels are labeled so you can watch. We've got 2 channels on each division, 2 channels on U12 boys, 2 channels on U12 girls, all the way up into the U18s. So you can pick whichever division you'd like to watch. If the person you're trying to follow isn't on one of our featured channels, just let us know. And you'd like an update on where they are, plus or minus wise, we can run that down for you. We're on the floor here in the centers. So while the advancers round is going fast and furious, we will try to get you as much information as we can as we go. So just let us know in the chat what you'd like us to run down for you. But yeah, a lot of great bowling and a lot of great bowlers here in front of me. I've got Brandon Bone. I've already seen Jordan Malat, who is our leader going into today in the U18 boys division. So lots of great bowlers and great bowling and players trying to make it into the final advancers round over here.
Yeah, and over here in the U12 girls and boys, it was 92 girls that took the lanes, and we're down to 14 in the advancers round, and we'll get down to 8. And on the boys' side, 195 down to 28, and then down to 8 for match play. I'm getting our pair queued up here, and we'll head out to the lanes here at Strike Force, where I'm located, for the final game of these 4 games. And we'll have a chance to check in on Mateo Quintero, who we've been covering quite a bit here at this event. He is our tournament leader, and this young man is sending messengers out on the lanes. I have my first opportunity to see him up close and personal. He's quite a talent.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him the first day shoot 952. I mean, man, I couldn't believe, the score there at the age of 12. Being able to shoot 952 for 4 games on a sport pattern. I mean, that's incredible.
That away.
So Mateo is on the left side of your screen. He's bowling with Emerson Hadfield, Benjamin Linares. As well as Rush Steen. Next door to the right, we've got Melvin Perry, Braxton Nien, Anthony Swanson, Melvin Perry.
Just pick it up. Good job.
I got the front 5 on 28. One of the volunteers just told me. Something to keep an eye on over here.
So yeah, Mateo, he did fall out of the lead briefly for one round, but back in the lead after a 790 block yesterday. He's up plus 21 starting the day. Jacob Dunbar, who we watched, he actually did jump into the lead briefly after round 3. He's in second at minus 87 starting the day. Donovan Klein from Jackson, New Jersey, familiar hometown. It's also the place where the Bones reside, and they bring a huge contingent of bowlers every year, and they've done a fantastic job with developing the talent in that area. So Donovan, part of that group, and he's third overall going into today. Joss Weems in fourth. We've watched him quite a bit, both on the gauntlet at the trade show, which seems like it happened about 6 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And now he's here in the advancers round, currently in fourth place. Jackson Veitch from Edinburgh, Virginia, started the day in fifth place. Anthony Swanson from Illinois started in sixth. Kai Struthers, who we've seen quite a bit of this week, from New Jersey as well, started the day in seventh. And all the standings available at bowl.com after day 4. Standings will be updated after the round.
Mateo putting on a little bit of a show here. He really likes this bowling center. It's got the front 4. Looking for the front 5 on lane 21. Boom. Front 5 for Mateo.
Well, he definitely has a lot of firepower, that's for sure. We know he can throw strikes when he gets lined up. And I think the trick for Mateo, obviously he's well beyond his years in terms of skill level, but the patterns for the match play traditionally have been extremely difficult. And so you would think that would neutralize, some of his ability to throw lots of strikes, and it's going to come down to spares. So I think the thing for him to watch for is to be patient, not try to shoot 250 every game, and just grind out, make spares, keep the ball in play. That'll go a long way in those match play rounds. It's always nice to know you can throw a six-bagger if you need it, though.
It sure is. A little bit right of target there, leaves the 2-8.
Just an update on what's happening here in my center. We've got in front of me defending U15 champion John Nunn, who just took home the Teen Masters title coming into this week. He's got spare 7-bagger this game, so possible 279, and he was at plus 184 going into this game. So this big one's going to put him into that top 16. Obviously, there's still one more round of bowling before they cut to that top 16. But players just trying to position themselves to make that run for the match play finals later on tonight. Spencer Robars, we talked to him last night. He was just outside the top 16 after a big day yesterday, shot 999. And he was 17th starting the day. So a little bit of work for him to do to get himself safely in that top 16 to make the match play finals. And as he said last night, this would be his 7th consecutive match play appearance at Junior Gold, which he believes is a record. We'll have to get Aaron Smith.
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get Aaron Smith to verify that because he obviously has nothing to do today. But I'm just kidding. He's been very busy, which is why he's not on the air with us this morning. But yeah, I mean, 6 consecutive years in match play, and if you think about the U18 division, for example, and 1,166 players, it is not easy to make the top 16 when you've got 1,166 of the best junior bowlers in the country competing for a spot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's a huge accomplishment in and of itself, especially on all the different patterns that the bowlers are facing and all of the different bowling centers.
Saw a nice break, a trip 2-pin by Anthony Swanson for a double, but making a nice run here. Melvin Perry got a 6-bagger.
Yeah.
Melvin was 17th coming into this squad. He was minus 433. We're cutting down to 8. minus 289, 8th position.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nick Hoagland has in store for these young men and women with the match play pattern later tonight. We heard Spencer Robars talk about it yesterday, that this was one of the easier 4-day runs in terms of qualifying. Sorry, Mike. I had a volunteer let me know that we have a front 8 over on lane 63. But yeah, because of the relative ability to strike a little bit this week, players are going to have a little different mentality maybe going into that match play, and if the pattern plays as difficult as it has in the past, it's going to make for some interesting scenarios.
Yeah, we saw in the U20 they were absolutely brutal in match play. By the time they got the ball on the show, they had a little bit of room on the show. You saw some big eyeballs on a couple of misses on the show, especially from Alec Keplinger throwing that urethane ball. If you haven't had a chance, check out the U20 final show. It's available on YouTube now and also archived on Bull TV. Again, if you're just joining, we are in the Advancers round. We're now down to 3 bowling centers. We're currently taking a look at Strike Force, where the U12 boys and girls are bowling 4 games each. They are in game 4 of 4. Currently looking to get down to the top 8. This competition is where I am positioned. This is where I've been all week, is over here at Strike Force. I will be back with you today with commentary for our U12 boys and girls top 8 double elimination bracket. I'll be bringing you that all the way up until, I would say, about 7 o'clock Eastern, and we'll be determining who the top 3 finalists are for tomorrow morning's 10 a.m. Eastern live final here on Bull TV. Nice shot by Mateo there. Still bowl 235. He didn't like something there. $225 for Mateo as the final score. Still got Emmanuel Guevara. Benjamin Linares finishing up. Emerson Hatfield finishes with 2:16. Benjamin Linares with a nice shot there. He can still get to 210. And that's what he finishes with is 210. So that's going to wrap up game number 4 from U12 boys here at Strike Force. We now cut down to our top 8. And those streams will be back live for you just a little after 2 for a 2:30 start. I'll take us over to the U12 girls. Got a 10th frame left here. Lanes 15 and 16 here at Strike Force. We got Bailey Massengill, can still bowl 177. Bella Castillo finished with 144. Tanaka, Namioto Fritz can still bowl 155. And Anna Anthony can bowl a nice game here of 199. All right, that wraps up the U12 girls. Once again, as I mentioned, we will be back with live streams from Strike Force just after 2 o'clock, with competition to begin at 2:30 Eastern. Well, where are we at now, JT?
So we just moved over to the U18 girls division, channel 1, and we've got Amanda Najokis, who is really the only player within shouting distance of Jillian Martin. She at one point actually overtook the lead. She actually started the tournament with the lead on day 1. If you remember, Jillian Martin bowled 300 the first day of the tournament, but she didn't lead the tournament. Amanda Najokis, former U12 champion, also a finalist in our last version of the event in 2019. She actually led that first day, and she's been going back and forth with Jillian Martin all week long for the lead in the U18 division. So I'm going to get to watch her here right now. She's going to step up on the left lane, right in the middle of your screen. And 10 back. We did have Jillian. Oh, it looks like something happened over there on the left. Somebody got their finger pinched by a bowling ball or something. But yeah, Jillian was featured in the opening game. But as these divisions wind down, we'll get to see more and more of the leaders as the tournament unfolds. So some of the other players that are featured here include Paige Wagner. She's at plus 23. She's in very good position to make it to the next round and also for the advancers round. Elena Carr is at minus 25. You see her on 15 and 16, her name up there on the scoreboard. And Amanda. The rest of the players, they're fighting to stay alive, for the next round. Folks who are interested in the U18 boys on our U18 boys channel 1, we've currently got Zach Grime, who had a huge day yesterday, bowled 299 and took the lead. He's at plus 434, so he's in great position to be able to make it into that top 16. But if you're interested in watching Zach throw it, he's on the U18 Boys Channel 1. And you'll also get to see a couple of players who are also making a run at the top 16. Angelo Biondo, he's at plus 191. He started this game number 3 of 5 with the front 3. And Bobby Habetler, he's at plus 122. He's also got the front 3 on the U18 Boys Channel 1. Onlookers getting excited for Elena Carr there. She catches a double. It's big. And, you know, it's going to be interesting if Amanda ends up bowling Jillian at some point. Very big contrast in styles. Amanda, you know, very hard and straight. Obviously an incredibly good spare shooter, but she can also throw some strikes. But that'll be an interesting matchup because Jillian likes to go left to right and hook the ball quite a bit. Be kind of like a Liz Johnson versus Kelly Kulick kind of matchup, Mike.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I never really thought about it, but Jillian does kind of play a similar line to Kelly Kulick.
Yeah, I mean she does. The thing that's a little different about Jillian, I think, you know, her rev rate's more comparable to someone like a Jordan Richard. You know, Kelly's rev rate is high, but she's a little bit more of a finesse player. She likes to her ball speed's a little slower. She's obviously incredibly versatile. You know, she showed us all, you know, me in particular, because I'll tell the story. A few weeks back when she won, I told the Bull TV staff that week, I said, yeah, we're more than likely going to have Kelly Kulick because it's going to be a short pattern. And, you know, I would be surprised if she made the finals. And she just went and led the whole tournament from start to finish and won. So she's an incredibly versatile player. But she does tend to prefer to keep the ball speed down a little bit. And she does actually, if you asked her, she would say, I very much like to go left to right more than up the lane. And Jillian's versatile too. But her rev rate is a little bit more dynamic.
You're not fast, Mateo.
As a good athlete, before you leave the building, please make sure you bring your recap to everybody. Good athlete, before you leave the building, you'll need to bring your recap sheets up. You know, it's good.com.
Well, as soon as they wrap up this game here, we'll bounce over to my center. We'll get to watch some of those players I mentioned earlier, Zach Grime and Angelo Biondo. Angelo now working on the front 5. And just threw a pretty big messenger to get that 5th one. So he's fun to watch right now.
Remember, everybody, the U12 is wrapped. Only 4 games. Got 5 games this morning for you. And all the other divisions.
All right, as promised, moving over to the U18 boys. mentioned, we've got, excuse me, we've got Zach Grime. He is our one of our top leaders at this point. He's at plus 434. He's on 39 and 40. And Connor Bremen, he had the front four, now faced with a 9-10. Angelo Biondo about to get up. Boy, I'm good, Mike. I can tell you what he's going to leave before he even leaves it. Angelo Biondo, he's got the front six. He'll be stepping up, trying to get the front seven here in just a moment.
I'm kind of upset I don't get to watch your match play. I'll have my match play going on over here. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it on Bowl TV.
All right, folks, just taking care of a few other things for later on in the tournament, but hope you're enjoying the coverage. Angelo Biondo finishes with 247 this game. That gets him to 647 for the block and plus 238 overall. Bobby Hobetler, he's got a possible 209 and gets the strike there. Second shot in the 10th, so he can get to plus 131. Zach Grime, who one of our leaders, got a possible 182 this game. With
yeah, an absolutely horrible break there on that 710.
Yeah, he was looking like he might have been able to bail out two team there, and then that 710 was a big setback. Festi can shoot now 182.
Yeah, and I don't know how he left it because it was a really well executed shot. Sent pins everywhere and leaves a 710. Just a bad break.
Connor Bremen with possible 236, so that'll help him out. He's at plus 27. Couple of good games here to finish, and a nice run later this afternoon, and he could find himself in the top 16 still.
Hey everybody, Aaron Smith joining you here from Expo Bowl. We've made the switch and we're going to have an opportunity for the second 300 in the U18 girls division here at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships. Two-time U15 champion Annalise O'Brien is going to be stepping up here, 10th frame. Looking to continue her run. Here she is up on the approach. First shot of the 10th. O'Brien needs to come back. We're 10 for 10. Two-time junior gold champion. Entered this game minus 122. Stepping up, number 11. Can she get one more? Huge crowd here. O'Brien, oh, that's left. Is it going to hold? How about that? How about that, folks? 11 for 11, Annalise O'Brien. U18 Girls Division Advancers Round final game here at Expo Bowl. Two-time champ looking to continue her run as she moves up to the next division. For a 300, Annalise O'Brien gets the late fall, and the crowd goes wild. Annalise O'Brien, final game 300 here in the Advancers round at the 2021 Junior Gold Championships. Congratulations, Annalise. Wow. What a finish. For O'Brien, 300. That will put her at minus 22. Just about all competition in the books here on Expo Side B now. But that excitement, whew. Unbelievable excitement to wrap things up here. The crowd behind this pair. You heard the eruption here on BowlTV.com. Ironically enough, bowling with Jillian Martin, who bowled the first 300 game of the 2021 Junior Gold Championships in the youth divisions. And a real emotional moment off camera now. Her dad, Doug, we've seen him on the shows. He is her coach. After all the praise from her fellow athletes, a great moment. Big hug, some tears flowing. Gotta love the feels. All right, with that, it looks like we're going to go ahead and switch back to Western as the competition has concluded here. But Annalise O'Brien stealing the show, 300 in her final game. The first here at Expo. I called it way back on day number one that I thought we'd see one or two from here. It took us all the way. Final game advances round to get there. But we'll head back to Western Bowl now. But congratulations to Annalise O'Brien.
Aaron, that was great stuff. And Annalise, that's a name that maybe has gone a little under the radar this week. She is the two-time back-to-back defending champion in the U15 division. Obviously, she's moved up to U18, but not somebody we've been talking about maybe as much as we should have. And we're definitely talking about her now.
Absolutely. And, mentioned the score. She was at minus 122. So when you looked at the pace of the leader, Jillian Martin, who was on her pair, she was at plus 348. So obviously some ground to make up, looking ahead to one of those top spots where, Jillian's kind of on cruise control now to make match play. But a statement game from Annalise to really put herself in position to make a run here with 5 games left to go.
Yeah, definitely is a message saying, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here. I'm going to have a few things to say about this before this match play is over.
Let's go. And with that, let's go full screen, JT. Back over to Western.
Yeah, we got 1 game left to go over here. I actually didn't get to see the end of that, Aaron. I just heard the tail end of your call after everything had wrapped up. I had a front 9 over in my building that I was taking care of. Young man, unfortunately, not able to finish off the 300, but had some excitement over here as well.
That's what we like. The moment mounting here, and players stepping up to the call in a big time way. Annalise O'Brien, though, that was fun to watch. She found a little hold on the second shot in the 10th after kind of watching the projection of her first shot, which came back and kicked out the 10. Found a little hold. You could see it right away just from her reaction that she knew she got that one a little left, but found the right look and then just aced that last shot.
Yeah, one of the things I like about the regrouping of the age divisions is that it's really given us the opportunity to see, kind of a murderer's row in each one of these divisions. I mean, the U18 girls division is, you could certainly see 5 or 6 of those girls, if they were allowed to bowl the U20 division, being contenders.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that U18 group is stacked on the girl side and the boy side as well.
Yeah, we've seen a ton of big scores from the boys U18 crew, both over here at Expo and with you over at Western.
Yeah, for sure. And every game I'm running down a front 9 and there's, there's 8 baggers all over the place. And, these young men are just really hitting them hard. And I like it because you can make a big move. If you're 50, 100 under, you can break out 1,000 and just get yourself right back into the tournament. We saw Spencer Robards do it yesterday. We saw Brandon Bone do it 2 days ago, and now he's among our leaders. I actually had a funny little exchange with Jordan Malott. I've obviously known Wes for a long time, and so I've spent a lot of time with him and had a chance to talk to Jordan here and there. He's more, very reserved, kind of like his dad, but he's also got the same, sense of humor as his dad, the dry sense of humor once you get to know him and he's comfortable around you. But the young man who had the front 9 this last game was on Jordan's pair, and Jordan has had the front 9 twice this week, and I've come down and filmed it. And of course, both times he's missed, and Wes has said, "Hey, you need to leave my son alone." But I actually was standing there with Jordan, and I said, "Hey, someone said there was a front 9 on 71 and 2. I figured it was you again," and he kind of laughed. But he was only shooting 230.
Just a 230. So average for the week for him so far.
Right.
All right, JT. Piers Meissner is all wrapped up, so you're You're the lone wolf out there.
The lone wolf. Yeah, we've got both of our channels are just about to get underway here in game number 5. We've got a former U15 champion on one of our channels who's looks like he's going in the wrong direction today. Silas Lira. He's over on the channel 2 of the U18 boys. And our second group is about to get underway on 39 and 40. Funny story, we had a little delay over here earlier today. Solomon Salama, who he's on 39 and 40, he's in good position at plus 241. And he spilled his entire jug of water all over the bowlers area. A la Dick Allen. And took him about 15 minutes to, wipe down the whole area, make sure there wasn't any water in the grout of the tile down on the bowlers area, so that players wouldn't get it on their shoes. But he kind of rolled his eyes and was like, "Really? Did I really just do that?" So we'll have to go over to the store at the break and bring him back a sippy cup.
Yeah. Nicely done. All right, I'm going to go shut some of these cameras down to save a little power here as we be back here at Expo at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So let the cameras rest up. So I'll be back in just a touch, JT, and maybe we'll take a look at that archive of Annalise O'Brien's 300 game.
All right. Well, that was Aaron Smith. Did a great job getting the call on that exciting 300 game. Hope you guys enjoyed it here on Bowl TV. The U15 girls have also finished here at Western, so really the only thing left and the only game in town is the U18 boys on the high side at Western. We're getting to watch that now. And our coverage will resume at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got another advancers round from Western and Expo. The U12s will get back underway at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Mike Flanagan will have that coverage and be doing the commentary on the U12 match play, boys and girls, over at Strike Force. So that starts at 2:30. And then that will continue the rest of the day till about 7 p.m. tonight, and they will have their finalists in the boys and girls divisions of the U12. And then we'll get back underway with the U15 and the U18 at 7:30 with the start of our match play. We'll have 2 rounds of match play today, and then we'll wrap it up for today. And then the players that are left will come back tomorrow for the final day, try to make it into the stepladder finals. Our first stepladder finals will take place Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the U12s. And then while that's going, we'll be determining our finalists in the U15 and U18 divisions. Those stepladder finals will take place at 2 p.m. Eastern for the U15s and 6 p.m. Eastern for the U18s. So we hope you can stick around and watch with us for the rest. See who's going to take home the titles in this year's 2021 Junior Gold Championships.
JT, you guys are still bowling.
We are.
I've been done for an hour.
I know. What are you still doing there?
I was communicating with parents, staff, head of lane maintenance, and getting a lot of really good information that hopefully I can utilize for the commentary this afternoon, as you just talked about, as well as our shows tomorrow. I'm like a squirrel. I'm out there gathering as many nuts as I possibly can to try to provide education for our Bull TV audience for the rest of this event. I missed the 300 game. I can't wait to watch it as a highlight. So I'm envious of the Bull TV subscribers right now because I was too busy at work. You know, I can't help but think back to last week when we were at this point in time in the U20 divisions. You know, just coming out of that advancers round, getting ready to go into match play is where my mind's at, because I'm going into match play today with the U12. So I'm thinking about, you know, all the patterns I've seen so far, you know, 5 of them in total. And what are we going to be in store for in the match play portion? You know, they were just absolutely brutal. Toughest of the 8 patterns that the U20 division saw was the match play. And if there's any consistency whatsoever in this event coming up in the match play, you know, how hard are they going to be? Are they going to be a little softer? What are the lanes going to look like going into match play? Because if they're anything like we saw last week, there's going to be a real challenge out there. The toughest test yet, but we don't know because, you know, they don't publish patterns. But that's kind of what's on my mind going into the next set of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it just follows suit of what we've seen the last few years,
yeah, they're going to be hard.
They're going to be hard. And the thing is, I mean, they really haven't been hard. Well, there have been ways to score in every bowling center and on every pattern. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
Right? I mean, if they're easy, it's obvious and everybody can score, right? So they're not easy. You never want to say they're easy, but they're scoreable, and they're not going to be scoreable, or it could be. But what we've seen the last number of years is that you can't average 250 on the match play pattern. It's a grind out.
Yeah. If a trend is your friend in this case, and I'm trying to think of the, you know, do they float the U12s a bit of a bone over here? You know, am I going to see some higher scores, or are they just going to be brutal too?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about going in. You know, and I'm sure that's what the players are thinking about too.
Well, I don't know if they are, Mike. I mean, I think some of them that are more experienced, like Solomon and Spencer, who have been to those finals year after year after year and know that they typically are a lot harder in match play, may go in thinking, hey, I know it's going to be a grind. I'm just going to have the mentality of making my spares. But I think there's a lot of kids that are going to make it for the first time that are going to be surprised by how difficult the patterns are if they do if they do end up being difficult. And I think that'll work in favor of the more experienced players. I mean, we saw Terrell Ingalls in the U20 division throw a lot of strikes in qualifying, and obviously he's a great talent. but he really struggled in match play on that difficult pattern they put out. And he was out in two rounds.
Yeah, he certainly was. And is probably still stewing over it.
Yeah, right. So we'll see what happens, but
All right, JT. Well, I think I'm going to step away here.
okay.
I'll let you take us home. And I'll be back when you guys get rolling as well for some support before I get fired up over here for U12 match play.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me for now. I will see you later on here on Bowl TV. JT's going to take us home. Enjoy the rest of the competition as we finish up the last game.
All right. Just underway here in game number 5, final game of the advancers round for the U18 boys. U15 girls are all done. We'll see them again at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Spencer Robarge on the featured pair in front of us. Doesn't look like he's made much of a move today. He's at plus 194 currently. He shot 818 for his first 4, but certainly hanging around right there. Right around the top 16 number. He was 17th coming into today.
I know.
Looks like Solomon's figured out the right lane. Clean 198 pace through 6 frames for Solomon. Man, there's just so many good players. Well, it's been mentioned a few times, but this advancers round on the U18 boys that we're watching right now, 167 bowlers are currently competing right now, and these folks survived out of a field of 1,166 competitors to make it to this advancers round, and then we'll go from 167 down to 64 for our next squad at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Just to give you an idea, we don't have the game-by-game score updates, but going into this round, which is a 5-game block, after 16 games of qualifying, plus 26 was the number to make it into the top 64. So you would think that number's going to land somewhere around 40, maybe 50 over. So in front of us right now, the players that we have that are hovering around there, it looks like Brandon Haney is at plus 34. And he's on a 188 pace through 4 frames. So probably will need a few strikes as we come down the stretch to get himself in the next round. Pretty much everybody else that we're watching here on the featured channel. We have Nicholas Sternis and Wesley Yazel. They're both over or around that number. Nicholas plus 26, and he's got a nice start. Strike spare double. Wesley has Turkey 9 spare, and he's at plus 119. Things are getting a little urgent here for Brandon Haney. Needs to spare this. It gets it. Nice conversion. But 83 in the fifth. We mentioned, it may take 40, 50 over to get into that next round, and he's currently at plus 34 with that spare. If he were to go off the sheet, he could shoot 223. So almost getting to the point where it's a must-strike situation. If he wants 5 more games at 130. Oh, and Mateo Gordienko. That's a rude way to end your junior gold. Lower 710. Well, Solomon finishes with 197. Never could quite get the left lane figured out on this pair, but stayed clean. Didn't do any damage to himself, but he finishes at plus 237. Sorry, 238. And we'll see him in the advancers round coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. The other guys on his pair, nice week for them. Sure, this is an experience they'll remember. And we'll focus our attention on 41 and 42. Just a couple more frames left for them, and we'll be wrapped up here in the advancers round. Brandon Haney, he's really the one we're paying the closest attention to. If he were to go off the sheet, he would shoot 209. That would get him to plus 43, and he would have a chance. Just have to wait and see if that would be enough. But one other player on this pair also has a chance to go into the number, Nicholas Stearns. He is at plus 26 and can shoot 246, so that would get him to plus 72. More than likely, I would say would get him in the number. But going to need a few strikes to close it out. How about one more strike for Spencer Robarge? He's figured out that he doesn't really have a lot of holds, and he's got it. His miss has to be left, and he can hit it pretty hard and still get the ball to set up in the pocket. And after he figured that out in the fourth and fifth, he got those shots up the lane a little bit. They went high, and he eliminated that miss. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go off the sheet, shoot 255 this game. And man, I think that's going to probably do it for Brandon Haney. If that miss is best he can shoot is 189, that'll put him at plus 23, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Nicholas Stearns, he can still shoot 225. That would get him to plus 51. That might be enough. He'll have some nervous moments waiting for the cut number to come through, but that might be enough. But first things first, he's got to get the double in the 10th.
That's why I try to push out as much as I said.
Yeah, Spencer's definitely figured that out. His miss has to be to the left. And that's why he's such a good player, so talented. As soon as he realizes what he can get away with, he's able to execute, eliminate that miss and run off strings of strikes. That's why he's such a great player and why we saw him in the USBC Masters final just a few months back. All right, big shot here for Nicholas. 2-4-5. And not only does he not get the strike, but loses a little count. Needs to make this. And throw one more strike. That would get him to plus 38. And then it would be just sit back and pray and hope that hope you get into that top 64. As we mentioned, that cut number was plus 26 going into this round. So you have to think that it's going to go up a little bit. The scores were pretty decent on this squad. So
Oh, I know. When do we find out? They don't tell you what you did 45 minutes from now. Gary, you won't know tell them where you can go time. Yeah, wait. I don't know. I hate the waiting room. He's plus 4 times. 4 times. Run a wing and a prayer with plus 38. Run a wing and a prayer with plus 38. He's plus 4 times.
I finished plus 38. I finished plus 38.
All right, Spencer Robars, our last competitor to finish up here. He will be shooting for a 255. That'll be a nice finish for him to get him in position for the next round, safely within the cut number, but trying to get himself positioned to make a run at that top 16. It would be his 7th consecutive match play appearance at Junior Gold. Maybe a record. I'm not aware of anybody else who has made match play 7 consecutive times at Junior Gold. Spencer not able to get the ball up the hill on that one. He remembered the first part of his plan, which was don't miss in, but the second part was make sure you hit it hard enough and throw it soft enough to get it around the corner. And that one just a little fast. So still a possible 233. Good game. That would still bump him up the standings a little bit and get him a little closer to that top 16 number. First things first, got to make the 3-9. No gimme and no trouble on the spare for Spencer. Edgar Burgos pulling up short there. He's up plus 410 over there on 37 and 38. Spencer with his last shot, he mixes him up for a strike. He ends up with 233, and so he'll finish the morning at plus 227 And that's going to do it for our coverage here at Western Bowl. We've got another round coming up at 1:30. What an exciting finish we had over at Expo this morning. Annalise O'Brien shoots 300 to close out the round. We'll get a chance to watch her in the final advancers round coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have coverage for you here on Bowl TV. We'll have 2 channels in each division once again. And then at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Mike Flanagan covering the match play finals of the U12 divisions. So be sure to stay tuned for that here later today on Bowl TV. Hope you enjoyed the coverage this morning. I'd like to thank the USBC and the USBC board, the BPAA and the BPAA board, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the USBC, Brunswick, Motive, Rotogrip, and Storm are gold partners, as well as Logo Infusion, I Am Bowling, the official jersey supplier of Junior Gold. Also like to thank the competitors for coming out and giving it a run here this year and putting on a great show for us. We've got more action coming up later this week, and also to the parents for coming out and all the support that they've shown throughout the week to us and to the kids here competing, and also the Bowl TV community. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you for your support of Bowl TV and for the sport of bowling. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. I'm Jason Thomas for Aaron Smith, Mike Flanagan, and Curtis Von Kruger. We'll see you back here at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time on Bowl TV, where bowling lives here.